there's something up there. Oh. Hey, bud. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to another exciting video. Today, we've got this 1979 Chevy Camaro that's been sitting in this spot for over a decade at this point, but it needs rescuing. And we're gonna dig it out today. We're gonna see exactly what we have. And I wanna see if we can actually make it run and hopefully drive for the first time in all that time. So stick around to the end of the video and see if we can achieve it. That's right, folks. Dylan here with another fantastic barn find for you today. This 1979 Camaro is owned by a gentleman who unfortunately has stage 4 cancer and isn't able to use the car anymore as intended. He parked it about 10 years ago with a brake line issue, and with his declining health, he's unable to bring the car back to its full potential. So I purchased the car with the promise that I would return it to him after I worked out all the bugs for one more ride like the glory days. But first we have to get it home. Think it'll be a muscle car once more? Well, here she is. You see how dirty this thing has been sitting here? I mean, just 10 years and it's just turned to dust and poop all over it from birds. I mean, it is just nasty, but I think it can clean up really nice because just looking at the car with a flashlight, you can really see some paint shine through. It's got T-tops. I took one off so you can see in the interior, and it's all there. Minus a little rip on the front seat here. It's not clean, but it's really complete, and I think it can clean up pretty nicely. We've got two problems right now. One, can't find the key. Two, the door does not open. And well, I guess the key problem is also this problem. I don't think you can take it out of gear unless the ignition switch is turned. So I'm not sure. We've got a couple issues here. I'm gonna see if I can wiggle this door open and try to open it up at least, and the latch is broken, but this side over here, at least for the key, I don't know what to do. He said he thought that the keys that are in my hand here were one of the keys, but unfortunately it did not work either one. The story goes that this car was running and driving, but a brake line went out, so it was no longer able to be driven, so he parked it. And it sat here since at least 2013 or longer, or before that at least, but as you can see, it's just been, you know, sitting in here. At least it's been dry. Unfortunately, this side of the window is rolled down, but look at how clean the paint is. Like, I think it'll shine. I cannot wait to see this thing washed, because the tires, they're still holding air, surprisingly. So again, this car, from all the things I can see, was running and driving. We did find a key. He gave me a new one. We're gonna see if this one works. Stick it in the ignition. Somebody say a prayer real quick. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Oh. Now can we take it out of gear? There we go. Now she's in neutral. That just saved me a bunch of heartache. Got the car hooked up with a chain. Got my trailer backed up here, so we're gonna see if we can pull it out of here. I've just got this new winch installed. I cannot wait to see how it works. So we're gonna see if this thing will roll. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna take and preserve this T-top here. The door won't open, so I gotta use the T-top so I can get in and out of it. Oh, be gentle, be gentle. There we go. Okay, I'll just lay it in the seat like that, and we'll probably pop both of them out and put them in the truck just in case we get any crazy winds. All right, here we go. gonna try and tilt the trailer up some. See if that helps any clear it up a little bit. See if it gives us any extra clearance here. That's better. We're gonna try it again though. Now we can bring it back down to earth. Well, that's where she was. And this is where she is. Let's strap her down. We're going home. Well, folks, we made it back to the shop. Finally, good to see it back inside here in a new space with a lot of room to work on this thing and see if we can make it run. So I don't think it's going to be too difficult to get it to run. I mean, fingers crossed, it's probably going to be terrible. Once we figure that out, we can diagnose what else we need. So let's get this hood popped and see exactly what we have going on. Ooh, look at that. Under the hood here, we have a 305 small block Chevrolet, and from what I can tell, it's probably pretty much original as it came from the factory. I mean, everything is there. We've got power steering, power brakes, no air. It's fine by me, don't care about it. And we got an original smog pump. I mean, down to that, it's all original. Look at that. And I believe, from what I can tell, all of the exhaust is original because it's got dual exhaust going out the back. But when I was under the car, it looked all there. So this is pretty much an untouched Survivor Camaro. We got a lot of work to do ahead of us because it needs a lot, as you can see. Let's see what we got under here for a carburetor. I believe it's a 2-barrel. Oh yeah, little baby 2-barrel. That's a good thing though. We like those. Only one dirt dauber nest on the inside of the air cleaner. I'll take that. And create a vacuum leak real quick. Forgive my ignorance on this one. I'm not too familiar with these GM 2-barrels, but to me it looks like a quadrijet cut in half. If that's the case, it should be pretty simple to work on. Luckily, we've got HEI. That's the easiest stuff to get running known to man. I love that. So we'll see if it's locked up. We'll check for oil, check for spark, check for fluids, and make sure this thing is ready to go before we even fire it up. 9 times out of 10, if the throttle linkage isn't locked up, which it's not, and the fan isn't locked up, it's gonna run. I'm seeing some massive dirt dauber nest on the crank pulley, so if this thing does fire up, we're gonna have to take a step back and run. Let's turn the fan. Oh yeah, it's not locked up at all. No, that thing spins real smooth. What's going on here? We've got popsicle sticks zip tied to the fuel line. Oh, that's just to keep it off the heater hose there. Interesting little technique, I like it. I reckon he was worried about the heater hose getting the fuel hot as it was coming in because they were probably touching. So he made some popsicle sticks and some zip ties and made a little makeshift spacer. Gotta respect the ingenuity. Pretty slick. Let's check our oil real fast. Just see if it has any and what we can do. Yeah, well, it's about a quart low, but it's enough to start it, especially on a small block Chevrolet. Of course, we'll change it once we get it running, but you don't want to waste an oil changing an engine that's dead, but I don't think it is at this point. So we'll stick that back in there. And since we have rotations, we can actually check for spark too, just so we don't waste any time. Let's just pull a plug wire and we'll stick a spark plug on it and see if it'll spin over and make something happen. Before we go any further though, we need to disconnect this fuel line. First thing this thing's gonna do is try to suck up a bunch of gas from the fuel tank, and I guarantee you we've got a soup going on in there, a mixture of varnish and jello. And it's not a good thing to run your carburetor on either one of those. You know what the problem is the stupid smog pump's in the way. Thanks government for making us do crazy stuff with our emissions. Got a freshly charged battery here. Looks like I had a ground cable put on right before it was parked because that looks brand new. Power wire, it's okay. It'll do the trick, I'm thinking. Should we have a little fun before we get serious? See if any lights work? I see a light down here at the heater controls. I don't see any at the gauges. Oh, turn signal, headlight, marker light. Look at that. Oh, that looks cool. That one works. How about the rear? Uh-oh. Ooh. Heck yes. That is fantastic, folks. We've got lights all the way around. That's rare to see. He was right. I mean, he told me, he said he was running and driving and all the lights worked. Let's see if the turn signals do anything. Oh, hey Dixie. I'm not seeing any turn signals. Could be a bad flasher, or maybe it's just because, do I have the ignition in the right spot? Oh, I do. And it just spun over. Okay, so it's not locked up and the starter works. Cool. Okay. Well, we've had our fun. Wait, most importantly. Oh, well, never mind. Scrap the whole project. Horn doesn't work. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm going to spin it over and see if there's any spark on that plug wire. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's firing. She is firing. And the starter sounds good. That's fantastic. Okay. Well, I say we just fill it up with some gas and let it run. Nice. My buddy Jonathan, and a longtime viewer, felt bad for me for using just gas bottles whenever I felt like it and whenever I could find. He got me this. If you'd like to send something to my P.O. box as well, it's down in the description below. I'm going to fill up this float bowl with this thing, get just a little bit of gas in there. I don't know about any coolant situation, but just want to see if we can make it run. Get a little bit down in there as well and flood it. Perfect. All right, now for the moment of truth. Will it run? Wow. Sometimes it is just that easy. I guess that goes to show you the greatness of a small block Chevrolet. Dang, been sitting for that long and it just fired up and idled. Now, I ran out of gas, of course, because we didn't have enough in there, but I think we bottle feed it a little bit. We can make it idle. Before we go any further, we do need to check coolant, make sure everything's okay. Had a little bit of a rattle, a little bit of a tick. The oil probably isn't all the way up to the top of the lifters or anything just yet, so give it a little time and I'm sure it'll clear up. But that was awesome. That was fantastic. The carburetor seemed like it wanted to run. Man, you gotta love old cars, don't you? That was great. Yes. This time we're gonna give it a heck of a lot more gas because, like I said, oh, we have a vacuum leak too. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Let me cap that real quick and then we can see if it'll run any better. We got a lot of fuel in the bowl. Oh, and we're only running on 7 spark plugs. That's what happens when you get excited. You start to forget things. So it ran that good on 7 spark plugs and a vacuum leak? Wow, that's pretty good. And she needs a little gas. Let me get in here. The problem is the door's broken, so I really can't get in. Gosh. T-tops. Something sounds weird, but it runs. Ran out of gas again, I'm sure, but it runs. Woo! Now, if we get a more permanent fuel solution and we get some coolant in there, I'd like to see if this thing could actually idle for a while. Yes! Oh, I love it. Oh, T-tops are so cool. Also shot out a rat's nest on both exhaust pipes. That's good. At least we cleared it out. No fire hazards here, but it went, golly, got all the way back here. Well, sorry guys, hate to ruin your habitat there, but I kind of need it. Whoops. Well, this is something I've honestly never seen on a car that's sat this long. It's absolutely full of coolant, and it's green. I mean, that never, ever happens. That's rare, so that's good. That's a good sign. So I don't feel bad at all for running it any longer than we have. So I say we get this thing running and let it idle. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and bank on that mechanical fuel pump. I'm gonna get up under there and disconnect the fuel clamp from the pump itself, get it to run again, and run it off an auxiliary jug. Well, we're doing it the lazy way. I don't feel like crawling up under there to actually disconnect anything because we're gonna have to replace the hose, so might as well just wait. What we're gonna do is disconnect it from the carburetor. Well, I say that. Also, this line here is kinked. Probably gonna have to replace that too. All right, we're just gonna peel this away until we get an exposed fuel line. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's not even flared. Yeah, we're gonna have to replace that. That's okay though. We can do that. Not too bad. Stick our electric pump onto here. This is the part where we figure out if anything's wrong with the carburetor. I'm gonna see stuck floats, needle seat issues, leaky gaskets. We'll see if it'll hold. Oh, okay. Well, it filled up. I say we just leave it running. T-tops for the win. Oh, don't kill the mirror. I really don't want to get all the way down in here. Then we've got a vacuum leak. It'll run if I keep my foot to the floor and then idle it up. There we go. There we go. Clear it out. And that's what we needed. That was the ticket right there. Oh wow, it's smooth now. Whoa, it's smoky. Uh-oh. Look at her idle. I think the choke is on, so the fast idle's working. But it's running. And smooth too. Just getting a little fuel and clearing out the cobwebs did the trick. And we got some smoke in the shop. Oh wow, it shot out some more rat's nests all the way out there too, all the way back in the back. Little smoky, you gotta clear out that one side. She'll get better. I'm gonna go open up the big door on the other side and we'll get some airflow through here. We've got some blue smoke. And is that some steam out of that exhaust pipe? This is blue over here, but that might be white. I'm hoping it's just condensation, but it's only coming out of one side. I'm hoping we don't have a bad head gasket situation here. I mean, that and the rings need to be reseated too. And it could be blue, I can't really tell. It's kind of blue. It might have a stuck ring on one side burning a little oil, but once it kind of warms up and gets some of the, you know, all that excess oil and stuff burn off, which it was a little low on the dipstick. So, I mean, there's a good chance we could have a, you know, a weaker engine, but we'll see what happens. We'll let it warm up and kind of do its thing and work some stuff out. We have some exhaust leaks on both sides. We're getting blue smoke out of this side too. See if I can get the fast idle to disengage. Come on back down to earth, please. Oh, the choke's not even hooked up, it's broken. See that right there? There's no way to heat up the choke wire because there is no choke. Huh, well, might have to stick a screwdriver down in the carburetor to get it to do that. Yeah, the fast idle will never come off. See if it'll idle normally now. There we go. Let it just warm up. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, we're chooching a little. I think that's blue smoke, honestly, guys. I don't think it's head gasket. Just got some rings that need to be ringing again. Sounds good, doesn't it, though? Tough. Like I said, I think it's original exhaust. We've got that big giant canister muffler in the back there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's running. It is currently running and idling for the first time since, well, it was parked in 2013. So that tells you anything. That's genuinely impressive. I've honestly had a lot of good luck with these quadrajet carburetors, and that's kind of a, half. So what do you call that, a dual jet? Yeah, that makes sense to me. But it's idling there. If we fix that choke issue, I think we'll have a lot better running carburetor, especially for, just idling around. I'm gonna see if any of the gauges work. We only have dummy lights for temp, charging, and oil pressure, so I don't think any of those are working. It says we have unlimited gas, so that's good. We're showing 49,000 miles, but that's probably 149,000 if I had to guess. 130 mile per hour speedometer, that's pretty cool. I'd love to see if any of that works. I doubt it being an aftermarket radio, but we could check for taking gear. It's probably gonna need some kind of transmission fluid, but that's okay for me. I can't beat that at all, folks. We got the running part down. See if the turn signals work now. We've got something moving. Oh, there we go. Look at there. A little slow, but that's okay. Still works. How about the rear? Yeah. Look at there. Let's go over to the right side now. Right turn signal? Not on that one there. Nope. No luck there. Could be a bad flasher. I've seen that happen. I didn't really hear it click, so we could have a bad flasher. Well, yeah, see, it wants to come on, so that tells me that it's probably a flasher situation. And those could be bulb situations up front too, so we'll have to figure that one out. And what I love about these is the hidden gas cap door, and then you got the trunk right there. We'll have to dig through this car when we clean it all up, and it needs a gas tank, I am sure of it. Let's give it a whiff. Oh, why are we idling up? We're running out of fuel. Oh, that smells bad. Oh, that was, wow, that was toxic. Jeez. Well, I'm seeing a little smoke up here. I'll rev it up a little bit. Try to get it to come back down to earth. And it might be idled up a little bit on that screw. I'll have to check all that. Yep. It's a quadrajet without all the good stuff, like the secondaries that are giant. Hey, it's clearing out though. I mean, I don't see as much smoke anymore, do you? That's good. I mean, look, the smoke around the shop is gone. I think that helped it a lot, just letting it idle. We got a little smoke coming out from this side, but again, an exhaust leak, and heck, the exhaust could be stopped up, honestly. I might want to check that. I mean, it has exhaust coming out here. I can feel it. Oh, actually, it's still stuffed up. Hold on. There we go. Now we're getting exhaust out. That was still in the exhaust pipe. Ooh, that could have been a fire hazard. How about over here? Let's make sure we can feel it coming out of the back. Yeah, we can feel that. So now we're good. Maybe that's why all the smoke was coming out of one side. Okay, that explains our head gasket theory. But look, it's clean now. No smoke at all. And a little rev. Let me check for smoke out back. No. And a little chooch, but not near as bad as what it was a second ago. I'm getting a really strong scent of like mouse rodent area living, so it's not very pleasant. And you can hear that smog pump just doing smoggy things. These things just sound terrible. I wouldn't mind getting a new belt or something, or disconnecting that completely. Look at that dirt dauber nest hanging on for dear life. See if the heater hoses are warming up a little bit. Yeah, they're getting warm. How about the upper radiator hoses? See if they're getting warm. It's getting there. Thermostat's kind of opening. No dummy lights coming on yet. That's really good though. Really, 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 really good. I want to see if I turn it off and turn it back on, will it run? Oh, look at there. Again, it needs some tweaking, probably, you know, clean up the carburetor, because I'll tell you right now, that's not helping, but it's looking better. It's running better. It's sounding better. Might back off the idle screw just a smidge because it's idled up really, really high. And the timing could be off too, for all we know. I need to check all that. Good half turn will do it. See how it runs down. Oh yeah, much better. Much, much, much better. Hey Stinky, what are you doing? All right, let's check the transmission fluid. I'd like to see if it'll move forward and backwards. Bone dry. A little bit of residuals on it, but yeah. Well, it's barely touching the stick, so before we get too crazy, we need to actually fill that up. My funnel is too tall. I'm gonna make a quick funnel out of this bottle here. I don't have a short funnel that would work for that, so we'll cut this one off. There we go, that'll do the trick. Stick that in there, and it's too big. And try not to spill any of it. It's still probably a quart and a half low. Door lock. Is there any pedal? There's a brake pedal. Wow. Huh. Reverse. Oh. The brakes are holding. I'm stopping the car. And it's in reverse right now. Neutral. Drive. Oh. Whoa. The brakes are holding. That is strange. I mean, he said something about a brake line or something being bad. That's reversed, and it's working. Huh. I guess what we need to do is get it on the lift and just kind of check everything out. I'd hate to go out driving this thing and there be a brake line that's literally pouring brake fluid right now. That's rare too, the fact that the brakes work. Gosh, this car is good. It's good that it was kept in dry storage all that time. Let's shut it off again. Oh, the generator light came on. That's nice. Will it start? Fires right up. That is awesome. Okay, let's get out. Easier said than done. I mean, that's how the owner said he did it. Crawl in through the T-tops. I don't see any way different. Well, I got to thinking about it. And if the brake line did go out, this proportioning valve up under the master cylinder will keep that from being a problem. So what happens is if one side, front or rear, goes out and has a leak, there's a rod in there that'll shift back and forth and close off either the front or the rear. I believe he said it was to the rear of the car. So we're gonna find that out. We're gonna put it up on the lift and just check everything out before we get too far. What I'm thinking though is we can make a temporary fuel system, get my small little gas jug. I want to see if I can drive it out here in the yard, turn around and come back into the shop and face the other way. See if it'll start again. Okay, I've realized that I can't see in front of me, so we're just gonna have to really be careful. We're moving forward though. Oh, brakes are working. Yeah, the pedal feels a little loose, so I'm assuming that we got one end of the car that doesn't want to work. Can't see out of there, but I can see out of here. Hey, it's driving for the first time in 10 years. Look at there. You just gotta have to use the T-top to your advantage. I'm gonna take it and we're gonna turn around. I don't wanna get too far. Power steering's working, the brakes are somewhat working. Okay, get her turned. Turn. Oh, too much power steering. Whoa, she's got throttle. Holy moly, this car wants to go. This is how you drive a Camaro. You stick your head out the T-tops and wave at everybody. All right, on my legs. Okay, I'm falling into the nasty. All right. We're up on the lift. Ooh, sounds mean. Well, she's bleeding a little bit. That looks like oil. That's probably why the level was so low. It happens. We'll just have to make sure we keep her topped off. Probably a rear main seal. I noticed that the exhaust tips a little wonky. That's okay though. But it drove up on the lift. I mean, it does have brakes. It actually has brakes and it stopped itself. I'm just thinking that he's probably right. It's just the proportioning valve is not doing what it should do. Or it actually did do what it should do. We just don't have brakes to went into the car. All right, let's cut her off. What do you think, Dixie? You like it? You like it? I think she does. I like it too. I'm eager to see what we find out under here. But as the car goes up, I have to assume the official lift position. I cannot wait to see what we find under this car. I'm hoping to see, you know, some limited slip action, but being just a regular old Camaro, it's probably not gonna be anything fancy. I mean, it's not a Z28, the stripes were added in after the fact, but hey, I love it. A Camaro is a Camaro. First things first, I noticed on the back side, we've got a little bit of a muffler issue. Check this out. So that's, you know, not really doing anything. This side isn't doing anything. So I guess it was okay that this thing was jammed up tight because it all comes out of the same muffler. This probably is full of trash. So I would say, you know, cut it right there and not even deal with that. But as we move forward, the floors are so clean. No rust. There's one spot that I found right here. This is it. A little soft right there. Other than that, I don't see any rust in this car. None whatsoever. That's nice. Now you mentioned a brake line in the rear. I'm wondering if this is it because it's kind of wet right here, but I also wonder if it's slinging off the pinion because look at that. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. So what I see us doing is replacing all the soft parts for the brakes, like the wheel cylinders, and checking which one actually works, if there is a leak, if there isn't a leak. But look at this dinky little exhaust. That's huge. Whatever this catalytic inverter thing, ugh, that is terrible. Golly, the thing is massive. Look how big it is. It's just like a pancake pretty much. And here's our oil leak looks like. I'm guessing rear main is just gone, but it's okay. It's really okay, not a big deal. The oil looks like it was changed not long before it was parked. So that was good, but we'll change it anyway just to be on the safe side. There's a shifter, all the cable and stuff, but you can see there's this rod that goes up from the transmission to the steering column, and that keeps the key from being turned when not in park. So it's kind of a mechanical neutral safety switch. So it's pretty cool. You can't bypass it unless you just break everything. So I mean, GM kind of made it difficult for you to start the car without the key, so I guess that's a good thing. Up front, looks like we have some new shocks, or newer shocks. Hard to see in there, but they're red. I don't know if that's a GM thing or not. Overall, it's really good. Like really, really, really good. We got drums in the rear. We've got disc up front. Kind of see the rotors. I cleaned them off, when I did the stop, so we at least know the fronts are working. That's good. No idea what kind of rear end we've got as far as like ratio. Reckon we can get this party started with a little oil change. Never hurts to have a nice fresh oil change after all these years. Let's see if we can break her loose. Yeah, nice. Tell you what, this Wildfire lift tray makes oil changes very, very easy and mess-free. Look at there. Not a drop spilt. Little nasty, but that's okay. That's why we're changing it. At least it was mostly full. Like I said, it was a quart low, but again, our rear main seal's leaking pretty good. Yeah, that's some gassy oil. I can smell it. It's got a microguard filter on it. Wonder what year it's from. Well, obviously before 2013. Got us a nice new Wix filter to go back in its place. Now for some of that delicious liquid gold. 5 quarts of the good stuff. And a little STP for the zinc. Gonna get us a little clean spot here to work with. Now we can see what we're doing. On top of that, I rolled both windows down, took out the T-tops. Now we can go riding. And you're probably wondering, Dylan, why aren't you cleaning up the whole car right now? Wash it, start fresh. That's because this car is so dirty. I don't think I can fit all of it into this video. We're gonna do a whole separate dedicated video of cleaning this car front to back, top to bottom, and detailing it to make it look fantastic. So make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss that. Coming off the lift. Nothing's exploded yet. I tied a gas jug up to the very front of the car. That's our fuel tank for a little while. We got 2 gallons worth of fuel. It's idled up high again, so I have to figure out that. But we're looking good. Gotta air up some tires before we can get too far. Eldorado Legend GT. These are serious. They're rotten, but they've got tread. They'll be good enough to get us going around where we need to. They're 225/70 14s. It's a factory size, I'm guessing. I wish I could see a date on here, but I don't see anything anywhere. We are backing out of the shop now. It runs, it's smooth. The power steering isn't making any noise. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Sometimes you come across something like this that it just turns out it is that easy. It really can be that easy sometimes. It's weird, and you don't really expect it when you see it, but I mean, a car like this, it's just been sitting only because of one small issue. And we still haven't looked to see if we found that issue, but we've got brakes at least on one half. I'm assuming front because, well, at least I'm hoping it's at least the front so we can do some burnouts. But you didn't hear that from me. Maybe I should have cleaned the spot off in the back glass because I can't see anything. Oh gosh, it wants to spin the tires. I mean, I don't know what else you're supposed to do except see if it'll hook a donut, maybe? Oh. Okay. It's a Camaro after all. It's supposed to do that, right? Wobbly though, probably dry rotted tires. We have a speedometer that works. T-tops are fun, except when dust is everywhere in your eyeballs. We're doing about 45 right now according to the speedometer. Whoa, okay. Okay, we're gonna slow down. Too much dust. Maybe this was not a good idea. Well, we know at least that it drives now, except whew, I can't drive this thing without cleaning it out though. We've got a lot of work left ahead of us. And I think that the brakes, they still do need attention. All 150 horsepower is pretty good. You know, it's pretty decent. I like it. I still can't see behind me. What is that sound? I don't know what that is. Oh, I got something stuck in my ear. Ew. Ew. Away we go. She's a little squirrely. Okay, I'm gonna stop that. Okay, everything's fighting me. The front, wow, okay. The front end was doing this motion. I can see the hood shaking. I think we need some new tires or wheel bearings or something, but I don't want to get too squirrely with that kind of thing. That's kind of weak. That's what you do when your tires are out of round, like this car is. You spin them and you true them up. I just really can't believe though that this car right now, considering what it looks like and where it came from, genuinely runs and drives fantastic. It doesn't make sense to me. Well, I guess it's just because it's a GM. That's what all the comments will say, and I'd have to agree. I mean, GM made some really good cars, and this Camaro was one of them. The neighbor across the road's a cop, and then the other neighbor was outside, so I hope they don't care spinning tires. Did it only spin one tire? Oh, that's weak. Gross. It's a one-wheel wonder. It's so weak. Well, consider me impressed. The old girl runs, it drives, it stops, does burnouts, you know, decently. And for sitting for 10 years, I can't lie, I'm pretty impressed by how good this thing actually runs. We have a lot of work left to do. As you can tell, the car was disgusting from the moment we picked it up. We've got to clean it out. Top to bottom, front to back, we're gonna disinfect this car, make it look brand new again. But you're gonna have to wait till the next episode. Next Friday, we're coming out with a new video detailing this whole car. As you can see, it's already gotten pretty serious. And if you know these cars and you know the doors are off, hinge pins are a big problem. We're fixing everything that I can think of on this car. And we're gonna make it brand new once again. Put it back on the road where it belongs and use it for a car once more. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end. We're gonna really try and get this car back to the original owner, let him go for a ride in it. So make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next episode or any future episodes at all on any car of us getting it back on the road and putting them back where they belong. T-shirts and stickers are down in the link below, road restoration stickers as well, because all the money that goes to that goes directly back into cars just like this and fixing them. So thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you in the next one.